boy, the Republicans in Congress can do something really great 1 minute and then disappoint your ass a lot the next minute. You know, it's amazing. And when I say do something great, let's say they can propose great things, right? Up till now, they're not really doing so much, right? And that's been my complaint about the Republicans in Congress. And also, you can't really say the same of the Democrats. Democrats, you know, they truck right along. They move right along and get pretty much a lot of things done that they want. Now, not anymore, but in the old days, you know, in the Biden days, they got a lot of shit done. The Republicans, not so much. Now the Republicans have power, and I still only see a lot of hearings and blah, blah. But they've got a very good proposal about Judge Boasberg, right? They don't have to impeach him. And that's what we're going to talk about today in the Insanity Report on Wednesday, the 2nd of April, 2025. It's 11:30 a.m., sorry. 11:30 a.m. here in Germany. This is the Insanity Report for today. Let's talk about the good thing first, all right? Congress is deciding they're going to push the envelope a little bit. Finally. Now, it hasn't been voted for. We don't know what's actually going to happen. But it's a bill proposal or a resolution proposal. I don't know exactly what they call it. You can go to the Congress website, congress.gov website, and check it out to read it exactly. But basically what it means is that instead of going through the whole process of impeachment and trying to convict Judge Boasberg and, you know, going through the whole impeachment thing, it's going to take a lot of time and it's going to, you know, take a lot of energy, and they might not get the votes in the end. They might not convict him. It would send a great signal. I do think they should impeach him, but I think their new idea is a better one. Instead of that, they're like, look, it took 2/3 majority to get the guy in, and if it's 2/3 majority to get the guy out, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to vote him out, right? We're just going to vote him out, and he's going to be taken off his position. They feel like they can do that. I don't know for sure if it's possible or not. I mean, apparently it probably is, otherwise they wouldn't put it forth as a proposal. I mean, it does make sense, right? It does make sense that if your Congress votes a judge in at 2/3 majority, and that judge decides he's no longer going to perform the function that he was voted in for, then you should be able to vote him out at 2/3 majority. As a matter of fact, I think that rule should apply to the citizens also, and to the politicians, right? So 2/3 majority, if the fucking people decide to petition to say, look, this particular congressperson or the president or whoever isn't doing their goddamn job, right? And they're fucking it up. Maybe not the president, right? Maybe the president should be exempt, right? The Congress people, that 2/3 majority of the state, get rid of them. Yeah, I think that's a good rule. I think Congress is getting somewhere here. So let's assume they can do that, right? Which I guess they could at least try it, right? They could at least try it, see if it gets challenged, see if it gets sued out, whatever. Let them sue. Take them to call their bluff, right? Because that's been the Republicans all this time. The Republicans are always like, oh, we have to play by the status quo rules. We have to continue to play by the status quo rules. We can't do to them what they did to us. The fuck you can't. You know what I'm saying? The fuck you can't. And so try shit. Try some novel legal theories here. That's okay. And I'm grateful that they're going to try and do it. So let's hope that they can get at least their whole team, right? The Republicans, to vote Judge Boasberg, which Judge Boasberg doesn't do shit for the Republicans, right? He's a Democrat judge. He's a Democrat appointee. He's got all kinds of conflicts of interest. He is trying to pretend like he's the fucking president. He's overstepping his authority by a fucking mile, right? And everybody knows it. It should be no problem to just say, as a Congress, to get all the people in the Republican Congress to vote to get this fucking guy out of here. And stop worrying about optics. Oh, it's going to look like we're tyrants because we get rid of... No. Forget what the Democrats and MSNBC and the left thinks about you. It's over. They hate you. They're going to hate you forever. They're always going to hate you. And if they're nice to you now, it's because they're trying to kiss your ass because they want to stay in power. Don't fall for it. Fuck them. Fuck what they all think. Who cares? What's Judge Boasberg going to do to you? Nothing, because he's not going to be a judge, because you are going to get rid of him by 2/3 majority. I think it's a great plan. I think you should go for it. And we're going to see how big their balls really are, right? I was saying it already about the impeachment thing. I was like, oh, it's time for Congress to show their balls. Show how big their balls got because Trump got elected, right? And then now this comes up, right? So this kind of saves them from the impeachment disaster shit if they do this. This is a good workaround. I think this is a good workaround, and it serves the purpose just fine. And it also sends an even stronger message to the other judges out there that are thinking of going rogue. That like, oh, well, wait a second. They're not even going to try to impeach us. They're just going to get rid. They're going to fire our asses. That's right. Keep overstepping your bounds, and you'll end up like Judge Boasberg. That's what the message is going to be sent as, and you'll see how fast this shit's going to be over with. Because what these judges don't want is to fall on their swords for Democrats, right? No. They'll do this kind of shit with impunity when they think there's no consequences to it, but they're not going to fucking murder themselves or suicide themselves for the Democrats. No, they're not. So, just one. It's only going to take one judge. Judge Boasberg happens to be the guy. Yeah, he's the fucking example guy. Yeah. And all it's going to take is get rid of this guy, and the other judges will fall in line. Perfect idea. Excellent proposal. Let's keep an eye on it, guys, and see where it goes, okay? Shouldn't take that long either. I mean, they put the resolution in. They can vote on this shit tomorrow. Oh, wait. No, they can't. Because tomorrow and Friday, I guess, they're not going to be there. I don't know exactly why they're not going to be there, okay? This I don't understand. But apparently, they had another vote in which a bunch of the Republicans went to the Democrat side to vote with them over a rule that says that there can be proxy voting for women that just had children that are in Congress or Senate. Now, we had a bunch of proxy voting during Nancy Pelosi's reign, and basically it just gets misused and abused all the whole time. See, the thing is, guys in Congress and Senate, we pay you people, you know, it's still, they don't seem to get it, right? They still don't seem to get it. They still seem to think that they can be the rulers, right? They can decide when they get pay raises. They kind of decide on their own salaries. They, you know what I'm saying? They get to decide if there's going to be proxy voting or not. Wait a minute. We don't pay you to sit at home and work from home. You are getting paid to discuss the ideas, the topics, the bills, the resolutions, etc., to do oversight and to vote in person on every single thing, right? The proxy voting is not a great idea. We don't like that. They got rid of it, right? And now they want to bring it back, right? Because, well, but what about women that just had children? Listen, I know that people are going to say, oh, this is the most sexist thing ever. Look. First of all, I don't have a problem with women getting time off from work in a company that provides that if they have kids, right? No problem at all. I get the instinct to want to be like, look, I want to be with my kid, right? No problem. I want to raise my kid. No problem. I want to be with my baby for the first couple months. No problem. I get it. But public office is not a regular job. See, that basically takes all of your time. You know what I mean? And that is the way it is. And I think that we as people, right, and even though I don't live in the States, when I say we, I'm talking about all of us. I'm talking about my politicians here in Germany as well. I think we as people should start keeping these fucking servants, public servants, on a short leash, right? They're going to be put on a short leash. It's got to be like, look, no, we're done with the fucking games. Trump got elected. It's fucking go time, people. So no fucking now in the first 10 weeks are we going to sit there and talk about more extra privileges and more extra vacations and time off and shit and proxy voting, which is basically not doing your job. Basically, you tell your buddy senator or buddy congressman, hey, you know, you vote yes for me, and just hope they do, right? Who knows if that person said what they said to vote what they were going to vote? Who knows? I don't know that. I do know that when they're sitting there voting, right? Because you can watch it on C-SPAN and watch the votes get tallied up and watch the people walk down there fucking do the vote. You know what I'm saying? You can see the list of the votes, right? When they proxy vote, I have to assume that the friend who voted for the friend actually made the vote that the friend told him to vote. I don't know that. It's too, and no, I don't want, no proxy voting. Also, this does open up the door. Now it's going to be, oh, well, now we want to give it to pregnant women. But for how long? Or not to women that had kids. So for how long? How many months? How many weeks? How long? And does that also include the father? If there's a congressman who has a pregnant wife, does he now get to go home for 3 months too to be with his baby? You know, I'm not trying to degrade it or shit, but listen, guys, if you're gonna, you can't do both in this case, right? You can't serve the country in Congress or in Senate and also have the time to start a family, or, you know what I mean? Or start with have a baby. So if you're gonna have a baby, that's great, that's fine, but then do the Congress thing afterwards, right? Right? Or do the baby thing afterwards. Like, okay, I'm gonna do Congress and I'm gonna have a family after that. You know what I mean? But not both at the same time. Because then if we're gonna allow the proxy voting for women that are just had a baby, then we're going to allow it for men who have wives who are having a baby, and then it's going to be like, well, but okay, but you know, I have to be able to take my kids to school because it's this, or because it's COVID, or there's no buses, or we live too far away, and it's going to be this, and then they're going to be focusing on nothing but this. This shit already took a lot of time we actually don't have, right? A vote on this shit, right? And it's like Republican infighting, because I think Nancy Mace created this bill, right, to allow the proxy voting, and it passed. And you know why it passed? Because Republicans joined the Democrats to make it pass. Ooh, I don't like that so much, right? First of all, I don't think the Republicans should be working with Democrats on anything for at least the first 2 years, right? Forget they're even there. Fucking ignore them. If they vote with you, great. If they don't, also fine. You know what I'm saying? But no more fucking compromising and washing each other's hands and all that. You don't need to. You don't need to. Right now, the Congress does not need the Democrats, right? When they prove themselves worthy again of being dealt with as reasonable people, then the Republicans can start fucking with the Democrats again a little bit, you know? But not now. Not in the first 10 weeks, and not over some shit like this. This will just piss people off, right? This is going to piss people off because people are going to be like, hey, whoa. You people just got off of, you know, decades of hanging around, basically not doing your job, rubber stamping everything, you know what I'm saying? Never taking a stand on anything, dicking around, fucking around, going out and begging for money, you know what I'm saying? Pleasing donors, going to nice parties and Christmas parties, you know? And now, in the first 10 weeks of it, when you know that it's time to start playing ball. It's time to start fucking getting action done. It's time to start, you know, let's move it. Let's move. You know, you are aware as Congress people and senators that it is, this pussyfooting fucking around time is over now. You know what I mean? It's over now. So what gets into your head to try to get more free time done? That's one of your priorities, is to go into Congress and make a big fucking hoo-ha and vote with Democrats and, you know, fuck over half your party, piss off the people of the country by making up some rule that really should, you know, no. Again, if it was a company, fine, you can negotiate that in your contract, but a lot of, depending on what kind of company it is, I mean, if it's a high power, you know, go time company, you can't be the CEO and say, yeah, okay, but the day I get pregnant, and once I have my baby, I want like a half a year off or a year off. Then they're going to say, well, then okay, then you can work in the mailroom, but you can't be the CEO, you know, because we need the CEO like all the time, right? We can't have that, you know, because we'll need to replace you. We can't have that. We can't pay somebody else to do your job and pay you at the same time. We can't do that. So it's an unreasonable demand. So you're going to have to make your timing a little better. You're going to have to say one or the other, which comes first. That's the way kind of real life works. It's choices, people. Right? Regular people get faced with those choices all the time. And just because you're in Congress or Senate doesn't mean you should get extra privileges that most of the other people just don't get. Right? And especially not in this situation. There's a whole bunch of shit that needs to get done. And it needs to get done quickly. And the people mandated Donald Trump to get that done. And Donald Trump's trying to do it. And he can't have lazy fucking people that are sitting there going, well, but, you know, I really need to get, you know, what we really need to focus our time on is voting with Democrats to be able to have newborn baby women be able to stay home for an undetermined amount of time, and then there's already possible resolutions coming in now for proxy voting for other shit, for other excuses, right? And they just gotta do it. They're just doing it. Listen, look, again, they're servants, right? They're servants. They're like, we're like the CEO. We're like the board, okay? We're like the board, okay? We're like the board, members of the board. And they are like the managers, right? And when the managers want something like extra vacation days or special treatment because of a pregnancy or whatever it could be, right? They don't just do it and then tell the board, guys, this is what we're going to do. If you don't like it, we're going to tell you, all right? That's not how this works, right? No. They have to go to the board and say, board, are you guys cool with this? Are you cool with this? Right? And that's what they were doing in the beginning. When Trump first got in, like after the 20th, at least Trump is still doing this, and the cabinet members are still doing this. They're still throwing things out there to kind of like test the public opinion on it, right? They're throwing things out there, test the public opinion, and when the public says, ooh, no, not so cool, then they kind of like back off that. It's kind of cool, right? It's kind of cool. But basically what Congress is doing is falling back in its own old pattern once again and saying, hey, we're just going to decide to do whatever. We're going to change the rules, proxy voting, whatever. And now they're spending even more time on this proxy voting shit, because now there's going to be the next resolution. It's not going to be for pregnant women, but it's going to be my grandma's dog had puppies, and now I need to go feed the puppies. It's going to be whatever. They're already bringing in new shit. So thanks, Nancy Mace, and thanks for the Republicans that went along with this craziness, right? Because they want to be liked, they don't want to be hated. They don't want to tell their colleagues, guys, we're here to do a job. Come on. But that's what they need. The people that are for this need to be told that. They need to be told, no, guys, we have got a mandate from Donald Trump and the people. And we need to get on it. We don't have time to fucking fuck around about bills for extra privileges for us. We got to spend time on bills like the one we proposed to get rid of Judge Boasberg. But now that's on hold because now they're going to be gone for like till next week or something. I don't know why. Is that like what happens? You lose a vote and then you're just like, okay, we're packing it in for a week and that's their punishment? I don't understand. You know what I mean? I don't get, because they said, okay, well, that's it for this week. That's all that's getting done now. And I was like, oh, what? Why? And that's not explained. I'm not sure why. So next week, maybe we'll get onto the Boasberg thing. Right now, I guess the big thing is concentrating on, new mothers being able to take time off from Congress and Senate. So basically then we have to allow them to proxy vote, because if we said no, then they wouldn't vote at all. Then their vote would be lost and we'd have less seats. They're not going to step down and let somebody else do the job. Great job, Congress. That's exactly what I mean. Let's stop doing shit like this, okay? Let's stop doing this. Let's start working just as hard as your cabinet members are working. Let's start working just as hard as the 80-year-old president is working. I know he's not quite 80 yet, but let's be real here, okay? The dude has more energy than all these Congress people put together, and let's start matching his energy, okay? Come on, team. If you were the coach of that team, you'd be like, hey, that's another 2 laps for you. You know what I mean? What the fuck are you talking about? Taking a break. What the hell are you talking about? I need fucking a week off of training before the major game. Hell no. Get your ass out there running. The fuck are you talking about? That's the way these people need to be treated. They need to be reminded still, which is all right. This is new for them, to be actual servants, right? Instead of the high royalty, right? They need to get used to and adjust to their new position. But I think we need to nudge them back into that position. We need to be like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? So that's what it is, people. That's what it is. That's what Congress right now is busy with. Let's hope, let's say this. The Judge Boasberg thing goes through, they get a pass from me on this one, all right? You make the Judge Boasberg thing happen, and that guy gets put on the street with a little box and a pink slip, you get a pass on this fucking proxy voting thing. Cool. What? Bygones are bygones. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. If the Judge Boasberg thing doesn't go through, now we're talking a different ballgame. Now I'm super pissed off. And everybody else should be too. It's unacceptable. We'll see that when we get there. Let's hope it happens quickly. So guys, if you want to get all of my content delivered directly to your email inbox, subscribe to my Substack. It's all about logic.substack.com. You can do it for free. You can do it for $5 a month, but $5 a month I'd appreciate greatly. It would help me out a lot. We got mega inflation up here in Germany, and it's just going to get worse, right? Because of the new government that's coming in. So I'd appreciate that. Guys, The reason why the Substack is the best place is because everywhere else there's some sort of censorship or reliance on notifications. I also write articles, which you also get on Substack. So, and so you don't get everything on any other platform. And on Substack, you get all of my content delivered to you individually. And you can decide whether you want to look at that or not, read it or not, listen or watch it or not. And you don't have to wait for notifications, or things don't get banned, things don't get censored. There's no censorship on Substack. So go there, subscribe there. That was the Insanity Report for today. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.